I cannot believe it's already December, pretty much. Where did this year go? It's nuts. I don't even know. What have I done this year? Didn't it just start? Didn't we just have the Christmas tree out? I don't know. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to Fina Reads. Fina here. And I want to talk with you about the books that I want to read for the rest of the year, which is not that far away, and this is kind of scary. I don't know what happened this year. Where did the year go? And just so you know, the stack that you see here, that's the stack of books that I want to get done till the end of the year. I have no idea how to do that. I just know, well, I'm in the middle of vacation right now. Woo! Like throughout Thanksgiving. By the way, happy Thanksgiving if I didn't say that. If you're celebrating. And then I have a week off at the end of the year where I just hope I'll get through that. So let's dive into this stack so you can see what I'm hoping on accomplishing till the end of the year. This is nuts. I want to start with finishing out some series. I just realized, like middle of November, that I started a lot of series this year, and which is probably a problem of a lot of people, that they read the first book and then there's another shiny object that needs to be read and they are not continuing with the series. I have to get better again. I was usually really good with reading like binging series. Like when I read the first book and then I read the second, third, fourth pretty much immediately. Maybe I had a short thing, like a short book in between, especially if it was more than a trilogy, like 4 or 5 books, then I maybe had a book in between. But usually I'm really good with reading a series book by book by book. So I kind of want to get back to that in 2022. But since it's not 2022 yet, I need to finish some series out. And that starts with Asimov's Foundation trilogy. By the way, I figured out why it's called the trilogy, even though it's, I think, 7 books total. Just in case you don't know and you're curious, the first 3 books were the initial ones that Asimov wrote. And then later on, he added the prelude and the other two or three other books behind that series. And they are actually as tie-ins to the Empire and to the iRobot series that he also wrote. So I'll focus on the trilogy. And since these are quick reads, I hope that I can actually get them done sooner rather than later. That is series number 1 that I want to finish. And the other series that I would like to finish is Gunmetal Gods. I've read book 1, and Samuel Akhtar came out with a prequel, which is 100-ish pages that I want to read first, and then book 2, which is Conqueror's Blood. And that is a bit chunkier. I think it's 500 and some pages. So I want to make sure to finish this series out. It's not done. It would be just the current status of the series. He said it's going to be at least a trilogy, but he also said it depends on, you know, where the story is taking him, that there might be more books. But at least I want to be caught up with it. I really enjoyed book 1, so I have high hopes for the prequel and for book 2. And hopefully I can, you know, squeeze them in somehow in December. Another series that I want to catch up on just on the current state. I don't think the series is finished per se, but then on the other hand, it's not really a series in the sense of you have to read books in order. Well, it's a romance book. And Olivia Dade wrote Spoiler Alert, which I just recently read, and it was okay. I didn't like it too much. It was a fun romance story. There were parts of it that I didn't like. But anyway, while I was reading it, I was ordering book 2, and if I would have finished book 1 first, I probably would have not ordered book 2, but now that I have it here, you know, I just want to finish it out and then I can get it to the used bookstore. So this is one of those where I'm predicting that I'm probably being like, meh, okay with it. And probably one of those where I like book 1 better and where I like the idea better. But anyway, here we are. You know, I just want to get it off my TBR essentially before the year ends. The next 2 books are something that I'm currently trying out. If you've seen one of my other wrap-ups maybe 2 months ago, I tried out a book subscription called Literati, which is more like a book club where you can pick from 13 books that is then sent to you. It's, I think, $25 a month, something around that. And then you have a big platform where you can talk about the book. There's also a live show with the host of every book and a whole lot of stuff. And while I enjoyed the concept, I just realized I'm not going onto the platform. I'm not participating in the conversation. There's already too much going on with social media, with all the discords and, you know, all the other platforms that I'm already on and already have a hard time being caught up on. So I canceled that one. But then I signed up for Book of the Month because they had their usual first book for $10 or whatnot. So I ordered 2 books, and that is the Will Smith biography and the How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days. And they got sent to me not too long ago, and I'm considering reading those 2 also in the month of December, because that's the point, right? You get a book every month, and I'm trying to keep it to a maximum of 2 every month, that I'm not buying all those books and then they're laying around. The risk is way too high. But what I have to say, I mean, even for, I think the regular monthly price is $15, or they increased it to $16 now. For $16, those are decent hardcovers. They are really pretty. They have the month that you bought them on at the bottom, kind of stenciled in is the wrong word for that, but it's not stenciled in, there's a word for that. It is pressed in and then they put gold foil on top. So it's actually a really nice quality. The paper is a good quality. I'm excited about trying this. And then I have a bunch of potential read-alongs. One of those is The Bear and the Nightingale. Evie, She Was Only Evie, is hosting this one. And this has been a book that I had on my shelves for a while now. And what I really intrigued in for this one is that Russian inspiration for this one. So I grew up in East Germany when East Germany was still basically Russia owned. I don't know how else to say that. At the end of the day, that's what it was, right? But one of the things that was really beautiful were Russian fairy tales. The movies that Russia produced or East Germany produced based on Russian fairy tales were incredibly beautiful. And that's what I grew up with. My mom, till today, keeps watching them. She has all the videos, like DVDs now, of those movies. And this is what this reminds me of. So this is what I'm hoping is kind of going to be like a blast from the past with those Russian fairy tale inspired stories, and just a wholesome book to read while you're sitting next to the Christmas tree. I know I'm usually not reading seasonal stuff, but this definitely would be considered Christmas seasonal kind of. So I'm really excited that I finally found a reason to pick this up. Another one that falls into that category of, I don't know if it's Russian inspired fairy tale. No, actually, isn't that Rumpelstiltskin inspired? Anyway, Spinning Silver. I forgot what it was inspired by. Was it Rumpelstiltskin? I'm not sure anymore. Whatever. Patrick Leo has, as part of his patrons, has this as the buddy read of December. And similar to The Bear and the Nightingale, this was one of those books that I wanted to just try for a long, long time already. So might as well. You know, that's how I read Foundation when Emily Fox put it on her Patreon buddy read, and I read it and loved it. And it was the same with this one, the same with Bear and the Nightingale, one of those books that has been on my shelves forever. And, you know, just has never been picked up, but now I have a reason, so I'm excited about it. And then the last 2 are part of not of a big official Discord. You know, back in June when Shelf Space had the Olympic readathon, I was part of a really fun team and a really interactive team, and we decided to stay together. So one of the guys in the team created a Discord for all of us. Until today, we are talking there on a daily basis. Andrew, who is kind of managing that Discord, who unfortunately doesn't have his own BookTube channel. It would be a whole lot of fun to watch while he talks about books, because he has the most hilarious rants on our Discord. Anyway, I'm digressing. So last month, they started with a read-along. Last month, it was the 11/22/63, whatever that Stephen King book is called, about the JFK assassination. I didn't join in that one because I was not interested in reading that book. But this month, we talked again about, hey, do we want to do a read-along? And we definitely picked one book, which is The Shadow of What Was Lost. Again, I know I said earlier I'm not starting any series this year, but here we are. Which is a chunker, and the only reason why I'm reading this is because I then have people to read it with. I'm excited about it. I'm scared because it is a chunker and giving that humongous stack that I already have here. So yeah, this is going to be fun! Yay! And potentially, we are not only reading this book, but there is another option, because one of the other books that we've thrown out there that people were able to vote on was Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Sheep? I think that's what the title is. I always mix it up with a John Scalzi. Oh, John Scalzi's is The Android's Dream, and Philip K. Dick's is Do Androids Dream of Sheep. So the latter, that's the other one. And that's a really short one, like 200 and somewhat pages. Also, again, one of those classic sci-fis that I definitely had on my to-read list on classic sci-fi that I want to read eventually. And I'm excited. Like, if we end up reading both, that's fine. If we only end up reading The Shadow of What Was Lost, that is fine too. I have enough, I think. I have enough. That's more than enough, isn't it? Alrighty, am I crazy with this? So what do your year-end plans look like? Did you start to panic like me and be like, oh my god, I have to finish so many things? Or are you like, no, it doesn't matter. My TBRs move from year to year and it's the same mess every single time. How do you handle your year-end reads? I would love to know. Is there any particular book that you're excited about reading at the end of the year? Tell me down in the comments. And with that, well, I hope you had a really great Thanksgiving not too long ago. And then I hope I see you soon with my next video. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye!